When you're a real boy.
Do you bring that yourself?
Yes, I fly this in a little tiny case. Open it up.
Yeah, because halfway through I will be like, my mouth is all over this.
I'll tell you something. I don't know who's used this mic before me. God forbid it's Jared or Jensen.
So it's like a mic condom.
In many ways.
Do you?
I call it
I see that you go raw. You don't use a mic condom.
He raw dogs it. I call it a mic cozy.
Oh, I like. You could sell those.
I know.
Dick's mic cozies.
Yeah. Ooh. You know who's upset with that?
Huh?
Mike.
And cozies.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, all right.
This guy right there, ladies and gentlemen, Jake Gabo.
Thank
Doodly. Rob Benedict.
Richard Spate.
Do that thing you do as the front man of this band.
Are we doing it?
I don't know. Do something.
Well, ask.
I'll go ask.
Yeah.
All right.
Well-oiled machine here, everybody.
Meanwhile, just be entertaining, you know?
Everyone, this is the moment that we rarely get to, actually, where we're really just drawing it out before the boys take the stage.
And you know why?
Why?
It's the hit song that we made popular last year. It's time for that little blues number called
Where are the boys?
Jared's Gotta Poop. Ho! He's got to drop a deuce, yeah. Jared's going number 2. He's got to poop. He can't take the stage and make a giant mess, so we gotta kill time, gotta do our best while he poops.
Jared's gotta go poop. Jared's gotta go poop. Yeah, Jared's gotta go poop. Jared's gotta go poop. Jared's gotta go poop. Rich is in with my gal.
I just broke her glasses.
Oh, Rich is dancing with my gal.
While Jared poops. The kind of thing that happens when Jared goes to the can. Even big good-looking guys like Jared gotta do it. He's not a robot, he's human too. And that means he's gotta go number 2. He poops.
Jared's gotta go poop.
Yeah, he does.
Jared's gotta go poop.
It's a big one.
Even Jared poops.
I feel bad for the toilet.
Jared's gotta go poop.
Oh, man. And that means we're going to kill a little more time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, our next song is called Jared's Still Pooping.
With
hey, you know what I love, by the way?
With the subtitle, and Jensen's got a tinkle.
And, you know what I love, by the way? It's my favorite thing. I'm really glad Ruth came out. My favorite thing is watching you dance with her. Man, Rich is like, I'm not much of a dancer.
I know.
She's like a really great dancer.
You always make fun of my dance, but I broke her glasses in the process.
Did they break?
Dude, they were in 2 pieces down here on the ground.
There were?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I danced the glasses right off her face.
Guess who's paying for those?
Yeah.
Everybody Rob's going to need to sign some
I'm going back to the vendor's room.
I hate it when Richard dances. Yeah. There's a sale online this merch.
There's a fire sale on Dick Jr. albums with the Please Fix Ruth's Glasses jar. And by the way, I blame Jared. I wouldn't be dancing with her if he decided to drop a deuce at a normal time like a normal guy.
Yeah. That's true.
Who decides to drop the kids off at the pool right before you take the stage?
I know. Well, in all fairness,
Uncool.
It's a long panel, so you got to clean out the colon, you know.
I guess. Wouldn't kill him to do it.
That's my clean out the colon sound effect.
Yeah.
You know, guys, this is where Rich and I really shine. It's like, you know, if we had like a telethon, you and I'd be great telethon hosts.
Oh, you know what I could do right now? This would be great. Do you have your phone?
Yeah.
Okay, I get to borrow your phone to film something. For my wife. We got to do it for my wife.
Okay, you're not
going to.
Okay.
No, this is so today is my wife's birthday. So if you guys would just do me a solid and sing happy birthday to JC. That would be great.
JC, her name is JC.
Are you guys okay doing that? All right, I'll intro it here. There you go.
You know how to work a phone, right?
I do now, smarty pants. JC, when I told you I was at work with the gang, I wasn't lying. We're all here. And there's Mike Borja. You remember Mike? Anyway, I could sing you happy birthday, but why should I just sing you happy birthday when I can have many, many more people do it? Are you ready? Hold on. I'm turning it around. I'm going to edit this together, and I'm going number 5. Let's go!
Happy birthday
To you. Yes, you.
Happy birthday, dear JC.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, JC. I love you. I miss you. Bye. Thank you, everybody. She'll really appreciate that.
Excellent.
You know what? No, I'm glad Jared had to poop.
Me too. Me too.
It was better for my family.
Here's
It's
Kristen
better
with
for
the
JC.
Jared Jensen report. How we doing?
It's like Jared gave
That's
my
a thumbs
wife.
up?
It's
Hey,
like
I got a thumbs up on the boys.
It's like Jared gave my wife a big brown present.
Yeah.
No? Anyway,
It was going so well.
ladies and gentlemen, Rob Benedict and his band Oh Mary warming up this crowd. Get them going, buddy.
All right, Minneapolis. The boys will come out when they see and hear how great you've been all weekend. Sing this song with me. Any way you want it, that's the way you need it. Any way you want it. She loves to laugh. She loves to sing. She loves everything. She loves to move. She loves to groove. She loves to love everything. All night, every night. So hold tight, Minneapolis. You better hold tight. Here we go. Any way you want it, that's the way you need it. Any way you want it. You get it, you get it. Any way you want it, that's the way you need it. Any way you want it. You fucking rock. I was alone. I never knew what good love could do. Ooh, then we touched, then we sang about loving things. All night, every night. So hold tight, Minneapolis, you better hold tight. Here we go. Any way you want it, that's the way you need it. Any way you want it. Any way you want it, that's the way you need it. Yeah. That's right, Billy, take us home.
Wow, Jared, you got a lot of air. It's like you lost weight since last time you were on this stage.
Oh, Richard.
All right, let's make it official, shall we? Let's anoint this thing and get it going.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, right? Good people in Minneapolis and the surrounding counties, let's say hello to Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki. Give them hell, boys.
You're going to love this crowd. Minneapolis has been so great. I have to say real quick, Steve Norton and I have to catch a plane. So we're not going to be here for the outro of you guys. I just want to say goodbye. Goodbye, Minneapolis. Thank you for treating us so nicely.
Oh, that's weird. That's weird.
No.
Oh, look at that. I love it when they pretend to like Steve. I love it when he's honest about his hate for me. Ow.
Billy?
Billy's last man standing.
I got you guys.
It's not like you guys are playing a coffee house. You got one guitar player, mellow panel. Enjoy.
Hello.
What's up, Minneapolis?
Dude, we were walking down the hall just a second ago, and I was like, oh, let me just hop in here and go to the bathroom real quick. And as I walk into the bathroom, I hear, any way you want. I'm like, oh, shit. Come on. So if there's a dark spot on his pants, now you know why. Is he going to regale us? Jensen Borja, ladies and gentlemen. Do it. Are you doing the drums? Where did that come from? Yeah, hell yes. I mean, since we've lost the entire band, I kind of feel like there's so many pedals down here. I don't. Thank you. I broke something. Y'all are now witnesses to our first and only ever concert. I gotta say, that was pretty good, man. Thank you. That was pretty good. Not so bad yourself. Thank you. So, long story short, if that was American Idol, we did not get through to Hollywood. Golden ticket. We did not get the golden ticket. Hi, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and the surrounding areas. Thank you for being here and for not throwing up in the last 3 minutes. It's awesome to be here and to see some new faces and some friendly faces from the past. Let's get to some questions. How are you?
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Nicole. My question is for Jensen.
Well, no, let's go over here then. Who's your question for? I'm just kidding. Hi, Nicole.
Hi. So you collaborate with Steve, and then you got to sing with Corey from Slipknot. I'm just wondering if there's a dream collaboration you'd like to do, dead or alive person.
No, I don't know if you noticed the skill set that I have on the instruments up here. I don't know. No, I don't. To answer your question, no, I don't have a. Oh, I wish. So I wish I had an answer for you, but I don't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who would you want me to collaborate with? See, it's not that easy.
No, yeah.
She's asking everybody around her. Like, give me an answer. Give me anybody. Yeah, I don't. I mean, at this point, it's just like when those moments present themselves, then hopefully I'm able to rise to the challenge. When Corey reached out and then I reached back out, and then that just kind of happened very organically. And there's we've got friends that are amazing musicians, like this man to my right here. That, I mean, we've talked about collaborating. There's a lot of different, it's all about timing and inspiration and when that opportunity presents itself. So hopefully I get a lot more of those opportunities in the future. But to pick one person or even a group of people, I couldn't do that. I just hope for the opportunity, whoever it might be.
I hope for that for you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello, I'm Cindy from St. Paul. First of all, I just want to say that I love your work and you're amazing. And I also want to say that I really enjoyed watching your wives on the show too. My question is, so I would love to see them, your wives, both do a panel, and I was just wondering if that might ever be a possibility.
Yeah. Thank you. I guess the quick answer for me and
Right now, Daniil, Genevieve, come on out here.
that sounds great to me. Problem is that you'd have to be watching our kids, so you'd miss.
Somebody's got to be doing the real work.
Yeah. I think bring the kids with. Who's gonna watch them? No. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Ask a stupid question, get a stupid answer. I think they'd love to. I'm sure they will. Not speaking for Daniil or Genevieve, but to speak, having spoken to Genevieve, she'd love to be here. She wants me to do the spate method of like parenting and start bringing one child per convention. I think she just wants to get rid of one. She's like, I can do two. I can do two. But so a few of them might be around a little more often.
3 is exponentially harder than 2.
Yes, I agree. Yes,
I don't know.
Yes,
I mean,
yes, you got me.
like I see nice families of 4 out sometimes, and I'm like, must be nice.
Yeah.
Isn't that adorable? Because you add that one extra element, game changer.
But yes, they would love.
I don't know why.
Yeah, Cindy, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Go
much.
St. Paul. Hi.
Hello, my name is Sonia. I was wondering, over the many, many seasons that you filmed, what was the most embarrassing moment on set?
Well, you had a lot.
I probably had the most. I do think ripping my pants was yeah. But then I think
Yeah, but you weren't embarrassed by that. You thought it was hilarious.
I did ultimately, but at first I was like, why is it so airy in the back of my thigh?
I think one that probably haunts you a little bit is the bowl of blood.
Yes. Season 6?
Yeah.
Season 6. French Mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was one, we're shooting with Sebastian Roche, Balthazar, and we're in Bobby's house, like in pseudo Winchester universe. And he puts a bowl of blood on the couch, and Jensen or Dean is doing something, and I'm nearest to the bowl. I'm standing here as Sam, and the bowl is like right here. And then I can kind of see we're in the middle of the scene, and the bowl starts tipping, and instead of going like, I got it, okay, just go back, I go, ah! Blood everywhere, like fake blood, blood on the couch, blood, and Jensen goes, dude, why didn't you just go like this? I was like, I don't know, it was happening. And I was scared.
It looked like this. It looked like this.
I was like, ah!
It was literally that slow.
Yeah.
He could have just.
I could
That's it.
have. I didn't.
That's it. He was in arm's reach, and instead he jumped back, and then it went all over the couch, all over the floor, everywhere, and it was like a 40-minute cleanup.
Yeah, that sucked. What about you?
Probably shapeshifter. We were in like an alley, right?
Yeah, downtown.
And it was the scene. It was like, I think it's a shapeshifter, and I couldn't, for some reason, I just couldn't spit out the word shapeshifter, and I was like, it's a shapeshifter. It's like, we got to go because I think we're dealing with a shapeshifter. And then he's just like, what? Shut up. Hang on. Okay, let's just go back. There we go. Sam, we got to go. I think we're dealing with a shapeshifter. I couldn't say it. I don't, and it was like one of those moments where it's like, what's happening to my brain? And so it got down to the point where it was like, Sam, we got to get out of here. I think we're dealing with a shapeshifter.
And then so he didn't tell me he was going to do that, so I lost my shit. I'm like, yeah, it was one of those. If y'all seen Shapeshifter or Skin,
look for it now. If you go back and look at it, like what would be like? He kind of changed. Changed the whole tone of his vibe right on that one word. It was like that was why.
They probably cut away from your face. I
hope so. I can't remember.
I hope so. We all hope so. But yeah, to Jensen's point, he comes out and I'm ahead of him, and he's like, "Sam, wait! What's going on?" He's like, "What? I don't know. I have a feeling. And we have to get back before something happens." And we're all, and Robert Duncan McNeil, who's amazing, was directing. And he's like, "Hey, Jensen, we don't know what the fuck you just said. If you can do another one in English, that might be chef's kiss." And so Jensen's like, yeah, I get you. I got it. So we go back and like, okay, we run out. Sam! Yeah, Dean. We can't leave yet. Look, I'm sure that I sense something inside, and I think it might be a so we got to go back. And it's like, and I'm kind of going like, Jensen, have you been drinking or something? But Robert, director comes back and he's like, Jensen, thanks, that was great too, but we still, what just happened? Like, do you smell toast? And so finally we get to like take 3 or take 4 or whatever, run out the door. Sam, yeah, we can't leave yet. Listen, I was inside and I feel like something happened, and I get the sense that it's a shape shifter. And so that was my response, just like laying on the floor, well, laying on the ground in an alley in downtown Vancouver, laughing, like germs everywhere. But yeah, that was a good one.
You know when you ask Google Translate to say a word for you? That's what I sounded like.
Shape shifter.
Shapeshifter.
It was good.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah, for sure. But
thanks for bringing that back up.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi.
Hi, I'm Carlin from Nashville, and I just want to say I love you both so much, and I'm really grateful for everything that y'all do. Sticking with the music theme, because I work in the music industry, I want to know what y'all's comfort album is.
Comfort?
Yes.
Ooh, good question. What this? I hope this doesn't sound like a joke, but what is yours? I like this question. I don't know if I've ever been asked this.
Probably Fleetwood Mac's greatest hits. You can't go wrong.
Wow. I'm gonna try something, and I think music, how it changes. Sometimes you're in a mood, you're comforted by like hardcore rock. You're comforted by a lyricist or pop or whatever. Right now, I think what would comfort me quite a bit is like doo-wop, like Motown, like the Isley Brothers or the Temptations or something. Yeah, thank you. One person. Thank you. Yeah, there's something really feel good to me. My daddy listened to doo-wop and Motown all the time, and like Roy Orbison. My mom listened to like Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin, which is funny. but I think like Earth Angel from Back to the Future. There's something like that era, like the '50s, the music. It always comforts me. The Ronettes. We were listening to "Be My Baby," "Be My Little Baby" a second ago, a few minutes ago. Yeah, I'd go like doo wop.
It's interesting. Because mine's very similar. And I'm going to give you two. But one of them is what I was kind of raised listening to because my father had a lot of these albums, um, and I now have it on vinyl, and so it's Sinatra's greatest hits. So like you can put out like "Fly Me to the Moon, Let Me Play Among the Stars," like that. I'm like, I'm in my happy place. But also, I think obviously as I've grown up, I ventured into a lot of other musical genres, and have an, an affinity for all different kinds of music. A comfort version now that I've maybe found myself is which is going back. I'll go like Miles Davis kind of blue. Um, like I could put that on and just feel very at ease and comfortable. Um, but those are comfort albums. I have other albums for if I need a different feeling. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Courtney from Wisconsin, and my question is for both of you. With all of the religious themes throughout the seasons, was there ever a time where there was episodes that you struggled with, or were maybe a little uncomfortable with? And if there weren't any, were there things that you would like to have seen done?
Hi, Courtney from Wisconsin. Thank you for the question. It's a great question. I will say I remember me for sure. I think the both of us, but Jensen can correct me if I'm mistaken. The first episode, was it called Touched or Hell, Holy of the Hell, or House of the Holy, or Angels, or something? When we first breached the angel and demon uh, storyline, I think well, I'll speak for myself. I think what I loved about Supernatural for the first two seasons or two and a half was it was kind of a story for everybody, and you can put whatever meaning you want into it, much like music. And so, talking about angels or demons or whatever it is, I was like, wait a second, are we getting into is this something the network or studio wants us to do and make it religious? Like this to me was, if you want to make it religious, make it religious. If you don't, then don't. So I think that first episode um, was difficult. I don't think it was ever difficult after that. And I played Lucifer. I played demons. I played angels. Um, but I knew that it was still a vessel to tell stories, which is ultimately what I loved about it in the first place. But I would say just that one, just as far as the religious tropes go. Mac?
Yeah, when we kind of ventured into that aspect or that realm of the show, um, there was a slight hesitation, I think, from he and I just being like, well, this isn't really the show that we signed on for, but maybe it was, and Kripke just failed to tell us that. um, but when we kind of broke that barrier, um, it was very clear to us early on that this wasn't something we weren't getting into. Uh, a religious type of there was no kind of what's the word I'm looking for, commentary on religion. It was taking inspiration from the religious stories, and that was I was fine. We weren't literally dissecting stories from the Bible and going after Noah and asking him how he made that work. it was it, it was more of like taking a generalization of religion and the heaven and the hell and utilizing that in our story and doing it in our own way and taking creative liberties with that. And then I think once we realized what that was, then we were able to kind of hop on board and do it.
Yeah. We to his point, I don't think we knew where it was going. And then I guess there was one more point for me, which was season 4 after the writer's strike, and season 401, Lazarus Rising, aired, and I watched it, and I was like, okay, we have an angel in the show, Castiel, and he's a new actor, and his name is Misha. And I watched the show when it aired, and I was like, wait, we're doing angels, and ours is a fucking weirdo? Like, all right. I guess I gotta sell my house.
I don't necessarily know that was by design. I think that was just Misha. And then we just had to deal with it for the next 12 years.
12 more years. Thank you so much for your question.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Hi, I'm Rosabella. I'm sorry, I love you guys. So I'm shaking a little bit, but I'm 18. I'm finishing my first year of college, and I'm sure you get this question a lot. But I'm wondering if you have any advice, like especially if you could go back and talk to your 18-year-old self.
Well, congratulations on getting through your first year of college, first and foremost.
Thank you.
Yeah. Neither of us went to college, so I wouldn't know what to say to myself in the first year of college. I think this. I think when I was in my late teens, early 20s, it was really a time where I would have benefited the most, and I have benefited the most since then from all the questions I asked, not the answers I thought I had. So whenever you think you have the answer to anything or you haven't figured out, just ask more questions. Just keep on asking questions. Don't have to be out loud like right now, but yeah, remain curious. And I'm 42. I don't have any answers yet. I certainly didn't at 18, and that's not a statement of like ignorance or naivety or something. It's just, hey, you live, you learn, and you'll find out who you are. You find out what you want to fight for, what you want to care about, where you want to spend your time. So I think these years in your late teens and early 20s, if I were to give my opinion, I hesitate to give advice, but I'll give my opinion. This is a great time to ask every single question you can think of.
This is a chapter in your life. I know it's your life right now, but it is not your whole life. And don't sweat the small stuff. You know, you will be in a completely different place, both mentally and physically and emotionally throughout your life. And so utilize this the best you can as a learning opportunity, and know that it doesn't begin and end in this stage of your life. You've got many to go. So enjoy it.
Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Yeah.
Thank you for being here. Hi.
Hi. So my question is, what was an irrational fear you had as a child?
Bears.
As a child, not as an adult.
For
Bears.
my example, I was afraid of alligators underneath my bed.
Alligators? You from Florida?
No.
I'm kidding. Okay, so you were afraid of alligators, and now
no, under her bed. That's why it's irrational.
I see. Well, where do you live?
I was from Oklahoma.
What?
You weren't afraid of tornadoes?
No. It's the wind.
Maybe a more rational fear.
What's your address in Oklahoma?
I don't
Is
live there
anybody
anymore,
home
so I
right
don't
now?
know.
Where do you keep your valuables?
Okay, so irrational fear. I get it. Because obviously, because there's no bears in San Antonio.
Correct.
But you had this
There
fear of
might be.
bears as a kid.
Yes. You didn't?
You've had this fear your whole life.
Bears, dude.
I feel like I'm saying the same word.
Correct.
Okay. Bears.
Yeah. Yes. I don't.
So this is.
Yeah.
But that is a rational fear in certain circumstances or in certain parts of the world.
Like when you're being attacked by a bear.
Right. But it would be irrational to be afraid of bears coming
For
out
you.
coming out of the bathroom.
Are there bears in the bathroom? Guess I'm not peeing again today.
But yes, an alligator under your bed, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Let me ask you this: what do you think sparked that?
I hated having my feet hanging off the side of the bed.
Okay,
I don't know
so
why
you were
it was
just afraid of like a
alligators.
monster under the bed.
No, it was specifically alligators. It
But the
wasn't a
monster was in the form of an actual being.
Yeah.
Which was an alligator.
Yeah.
Got it. That sucks.
So-
Because if it's like I was like, well, there's a monster under my bed. It's like monsters aren't real. You don't have to worry about that. That's just in books and science fiction and a show called Supernatural. You don't have to worry about monsters under the bed. But yeah. But an alligator is a real thing that could cause fear in certain circumstances. And so was there like a book that you read?
No.
Or no, it was a
It's just
TV
alligators.
show or a movie or a story that somebody shared
I
with
don't
you.
have an
You
explanation.
just said it. You were like, there's
Alligators lived
definitely
under my bed,
a
and they were
massive
gonna eat
lizard
my
under my
limbs
bed.
If they were off the bed, there wasn't an explanation.
There was no explanation.
No, it's just alligators. They're scary. I don't
Okay.
know.
I'm with you. I get it. Alligators are not my thing, but bears. I'm scared of bears. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: as you've gotten older,
Mhm.
has that fear subsided, or does it still creep up on you?
So it's no longer alligators.
Oh, we've changed.
I'm here for this. I am here.
Okay.
So I have mild hallucinations. So it's usually just people standing in the corners of rooms.
Yeah. See, that messes me up right there. See, now we're getting to a conversation.
Did y'all just become best friends?
Because this.
No, they're usually watching me.
If I wake up and see that, I'm blowing it up. I've got the detonator, and the whole place is going up. Me included. That's it.
I was also really scared of
but if you see-
gremlins from the
What's that?
movie. I was really scared of gremlins.
Gremlins?
From the movie.
That
That's
makes
fair.
sense.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That makes
I
sense.
thought they were gonna climb up.
I love
on the
that.
bed,
That's a good fear.
so.
Okay. I know I had some. I'm just trying to dig deep and try to find them because now I'm like, nope. Gosh. I don't know. I don't know that I had one specifically that like really stuck with me. I mean,
Straight-legged people.
well, I just don't trust them.
Who would?
Yeah, I don't know that I think I have healthy fears.
Well, then what's a healthy fear?
Healthy fear is like when you see a rattlesnake.
Yep, but I'm from like Texas and Oklahoma. Rattlesnakes are all around. Like, you
Exactly,
get
but
used to
that's a
those.
healthy fear. It's like, oh, nope. Like that's
How many rattlesnakes do you live around? You just like jump.
nope. Oh, no, Jesus. And my wife is from Louisiana, and her parents still live down there, and we go and visit them quite often. And so alligators are a thing down there. And I've driven across the Pontchartrain Bridge many times, which is a extremely long bridge. and it is so close to the water.
They're a lot bigger than you think they are.
Yeah.
Pictures don't do them justice.
So I feel like fear of alligators is a healthy, rational fear, much
But
like
under
fear
your
of
bed?
bears. But under your bed, you might want to talk to somebody about that.
Yeah.
Might want to talk to somebody about that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sweating now. How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so my question is, what events in the show aided in evolving your character's perspective on the ethics of hunting monsters?
What advice from the show?
Events.
What events from the show aided?
I'm going to need you to just repeat the whole question.
What events in the show aided in evolving your character's perspective on the ethics of hunting monsters?
Ooh.
Dad. You'd like more than that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Like throughout the show.
The Benders. The Benders and, well, for Sam, the Benders and the clowns. No, the Benders and, was it season 1 where I get killed by Aldous Hodge? Or season 2? Season 2.
I'm honestly still trying to figure out the question, man.
I like it. I like it. And it's something I'm working on right now as a human being. Not monsters or how to kill them or what's ethical. But I think with the Benders, learning that sometimes, how did Dean put it? Like monsters aren't the only evil or something because they were humans. And then also the end of season 2, where a lot of the kids from the Yellow-Eyed Demon were around, and Sam saw these kids that were all, poisoned with demon blood as well, and not wanting to see himself as doomed or evil. He got to see humans that were bad and monsters that could be good. And so treating it like a case-by-case situation, and something I'm working on now from a book that I read recently by Jefferson Fisher called The Next Conversation, Argue Less, Talk More, is the person you're talking to, the person you see isn't the person you're talking to. So everybody's going, yeah. I'll work with him. I'll work with him. No, the person you see right here on stage, the people you see, is not what's going on in our head. You can meet evil humans. And don't sleep with your feet off the bed because there are fucking alligators everywhere. But that's it. That's pretty much that. Yeah.
Like, Jensen, in terms of like what makes one inherently evil, who to kill, who to spare.
Alligators and bears.
Like Jared said.
Like what prompted us to do this?
Oh, what events?
What events
Shaped the way Dean hunted monsters.
Right. Mom dying. Am I missing something? Mom dies. Let me just explain the show to you. Mom dies. Dad gets mad. Dad enacts revenge for life. Forces his sons to follow along when really he was just, he was going to go it alone regardless, but he said, "Come on, boys." And then as the boys get older, one's like, "I don't want to do this," and one's like, "Dad, you're my hero," and keeps doing the revenge of the mom thing, and then learns how to fight the bad things, and then each time they fight the bad things, they learn because there's a journal involved that documents. It's like a stenographer that just, this is how you kill a Wendigo. And then that then informs us how we kill the things that we need to kill in order to save the day for the family. I'm still not answering your. Do you have your question written down? I think you're putting some emphasis on the wrong syllable, and I just. Jared, I have a question for you.
Let's hear it.
What events in the show aided,
Yep, got it.
assisted, aided,
Yep.
in evolving your character's perspective? You know, like what are things that made them think
Mom dying.
on the wait. And here's the thing that I wasn't getting.
Yeah, got it.
On the ethics of hunting monsters.
My brother was like, Dad, you're my
And
hero.
in terms of what makes one inherently evil, who to kill or who not to kill.
I mean, my brother was like, hey, I know you're in college, you're going to have a good life, but Dad's my hero and Mom died. Come hunt with me. That's basically all I remember. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Hi, how
I'm
are
glad
you?
we walked through that one. That was a
Big time.
doozy.
Big time. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you? My name's Alexis. I love you guys so much, first of all. You guys have helped me a lot with my mental health and with the Always Keep Fighting campaign and Supernatural. I was just wondering what you guys do to help you guys get through your guys' bad days.
Thank you for sharing that, Alexis.
Doo-wop.
Sure. This is going to sound strange. I don't try to do one thing. I do try to breathe and slow myself down, and I have the tendency to kind of get ramped up and revved up and talk quickly and think quickly as quickly as I can. But I guess I try to do everything. That sounds cheesy, but I'll try and explain. I try to find the joy no matter what, and I remember everything. I try to remember and remind myself that everything you do is a sacrifice. You could be home right now. You could be going for a walk right now. You could be sleeping right now. You could be eating. You could be watching television. You could be watching Pokemon cards getting opened up on YouTube. with me and a couple of hours on YouTube. Just kidding. But just trying to find the joy around you, because there's a lot of joy and happiness around you, and if you can find happiness and joy in whatever's around you or whoever's around you, then you'll never lack a fountain of joy. So there are going to be days and moments where you just can't find it in yourself, but if you can find it in somebody else and be happy for them, truly happy for them, then that'll give you something. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Deborah. I'm from San Francisco. Longtime fan, first time convention. But also kind of following on that, thank you for bringing this joy. I think you just filled my son Jasper and my cup for years of having joy and a memorable moment to look back on. So thank you. I was curious, is there a role that you tried out for over the years that you didn't get that you're like, damn, I wish I got that? Or you're like, thank God I didn't?
I've never auditioned for something I didn't get.
Yeah.
Not true. Not true.
That we auditioned that we didn't get that we wish we had, or
Or vice versa.
or vice versa.
Or yeah, or that you didn't get it and you're like, thank God God.
Got it.
I didn't get it.
Do you have one?
Yeah, I'll do the latter. So there was a pilot episode. This was many years ago, and it was it kind of changed the course of like my mentality as far as the industry goes. Um, and it was I don't even remember what network it was on, but this was in maybe the early 2000s, and it was a family drama show, and it was for the pilot of that show, and it came down to me and one other guy, and I thought for sure I had it. I got all the feedback that the director was like, "You got this," and the producer was like, "You're our guy," or whatever. I was getting positive feedback, and so I went to the final audition, and then when I went home that day, I basically waited by the phone, knowing I was going to get that call, knowing I was going to have this job, and and I got the call, and they decided to go with the other guy. It was me and one other guy, and
It was me.
No, we know the guy. He's a friend of ours, and I hung up the phone, and I put my fist through the drywall, and I was, trust me, it was a weekend patch job, and I was pretty proud of it. But I immediately then called my dad, and I was very upset, and he kind of gave me a pep talk in that moment that switched the way that I approached trying out for jobs, and that has helped me to this day. That show, they made the pilot, and it never got picked up. And had I done that, I wouldn't have been available to do Smallville. And had I not done Smallville, I probably wouldn't have gotten plucked off of that to do Supernatural.
Yeah, same. It's like the Garth Brooks song.
Unanswered, thankful for unanswered prayers.
Yes, thankful for like gratitude for unanswered prayers, so to speak. Similar, very similar. The first job I ever got was a pilot at shot in Chicago, and I was like the lead was a female medical examiner. She had a sister, and her sister had a son. That son was me. So I was like number 10 or 11 on the call sheet. I probably would have worked a day an episode. I was praying to get it. I did the pilot, but the show didn't get picked up. The show ended up getting retooled and reimagined and became a show called Crossing Jordan, which is a great show, but I would have been like the 12th lead on Crossing Jordan for 12 seasons, which meant I never would have done Gilmore Girls. I never would have done Supernatural. I never would have done anything I did between 2000 and 2012. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity, but I feel very grateful that I'm here today somehow or another, 25 years after auditioning for Gilmore Girls, and I'm thrilled that I have best friends and wife and all that. So thank you. Thank you, Deborah.
Hi,
Hi,
I'm Amy from Los Angeles.
Californians. Y'all are being overtaken.
I know.
San Francisco, Los Angeles.
What part of LA?
North Hollywood.
North NoHo. Let's go.
Let's go.
What's your address? Or what's your
Stop
nearest?
it! Stop it, creep!
Where do you keep your valuables?
You want my social too?
Sure. What's your
No,
nearest?
he's got that. He just wants your.
What's your nearest cross street? I don't want your address. What's your nearest cross street?
Oh, you'll know it. It's Lancashire, Vineland, Camarillo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
yeah.
hell one.
All right.
Yeah.
Old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yep.
I was at Moore Park in Vineland, right off of Lancashire, and yeah.
Let's go.
We're in Minneapolis, dude. There are people watching.
So you're both producing now as well as performing, both like producing your own shows and via Chaos Machine, obviously. You and Danielle Jensen. And I'm just curious, what stories do you feel drawn towards creating as
producers? Like, are there certain things you gravitate to, or is there criteria you're looking for in new projects you're taking on?
Great question. You want to start?
I mean, it's a difficult question to answer because I know what I think you mean, and you're right in asking that. But the reality is there's this little thing called IP, intellectual property, and there is any IP that is out there that is proven is owned. You know, you're not gonna get a DC comic that hasn't been done and just be like, oh, this hasn't been done. I'm gonna produce this. Somebody owns all of that. So to find some sort of IP that is available is the first kind of hunt that you have to go on. Let's see what's available, and then you have to go and find. Okay, well, why is it available? Why does nobody own this? Because there's so much IP that is out there that is just owned that you'll never see. People buy it up because they don't want somebody else making it. And they'll shelf it, or they'll just keep it, and they'll keep paying whatever the cost is for the deal that they made with the owner of that IP, and then they'll just keep it to literally just. They're like, well, we don't know what we want to do with it, or if we're going to do anything with it, but we just want to know that nobody else has it. There is so much of that, and so to even find things that are available is very, very difficult. And then to find things that are difficult or find things that are available that are good and resonate and have a shot at actually being produced and invested money in and make for a studio or a network or whatever it might be. It is very difficult. We've been very fortunate we've found a couple of IPs that speak to us that were available that we are currently producing and developing. And so I wish I could say, oh, we want to do just comedy, or we want to do just, action and adventure, or we want to do the stuff that we have that we currently have ownership of, not ownership, but we own the rights to, I suppose, that we are developing are literally across the board. But each of those things, I was like, I really like this. I think this could be something. But it's not in one specific area. It's not in one specific genre. It's kind of across the board. So it's a difficult game to play, the producing and developing game, especially being a small production company. Now, granted, we have a deal with Amazon, so that gives us a little bit of leverage. If we really feel passionate about something, then we can go to them and say, "Hey, I really like this product. Can I pitch it to you and give you my ideas for how I want to do this?" And we're doing it right. I'm doing it right now. There was a book. We got it. I'll tell you about it when I can. I brought it to them. They said, absolutely. We've developed it. It's in a script form now. So all of that, but the thing is that we got first crack at the book because I knew the author. And that's really the only way to get things of merit these days because everything is already owned. It's so hard. I mean, the reason people make movies now, they're like, oh, that book's been out for years. It's like, yeah, well, because somebody was sitting on it for 20 years and finally gave it up, and then somebody quickly bought it who loved it and made it into a movie or whatever it is. So it's a crazy business, this side of it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's changing quite a bit. Everything he said is right on point, in my experience, at least as well. But the industry is also changing quite a bit. Like we had a couple of union strikes over the last 2 or 3 years, 1 or 2 years, and so there are things that I'd love to make with friends if I had 2 months and some camera crew and some wardrobe to just go make it and see if anybody ever watched it. If you're going to hope to make something that people want to watch and people are going to spend money on, there are certain stories that need to be told right now, and that there are certain stories that studios and networks want to tell right now that are going to be totally opposite in 2 or 3 years, and totally opposite in 2 or 3 years from there. But yet, to his point with the IP, the intellectual property thing, like if I am a big studio and I have a movie coming out and it's called Convention Man, and I spent 50 million. It's a good movie. You're not going to watch it? No, but if I spent $50 million making this movie and it's going to come out in 8 months, but I find out there's another book or script called like Convention People, and I can pay them $100,000 a year just to have the rights to that book, so it won't get made and cost me half of my box office or whatever. Then that's what they do often, and that's business. It's very creative and artistic, our industry, but it's also a business. And so I think there are a few stories I'd like to tell. There are a few books we have optioned as well, and hopefully we get them made and get them made properly. I think
we're also little fish in a very giant ocean.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Safe travels back to LA. All right, let me see. I'm not good at this. Oh, I suck. It's going to be a bad day. Just kidding.
It's all right.
Hi, I'm Crystal from Wisconsin. So this might be kind of an unpopular, maybe popular topic.
Yeah, let's go. Let's piss some people off. Let's go.
Fucking cheeseheads.
So the ending of the show, it was not the ending that I wanted, but I respect everybody. Some people, it was the ending that they wanted. But
Wait, who wanted that ending?
not me. So it was not the ending that I wanted. So I'm just wondering, if you had to change the ending, how would you end the show instead?
I would have just moved about 8 inches to my left. I knew it too. I knew you. Asshole.
Okay, Crystal. What ending did you want?
So I would have liked to have seen you defeat God, and then
We did.
I know. And then the next episode, you get a phone call, somebody needs help, and you're at the back of the Impala.
We did.
You're at the back of the Impala, and we got work to do. Boom.
We did.
Show's done. But show's done. Show's done. Then it's up to us to decide. I did
So
not.
you would have preferred the outside of the vampire nest, the shutting of the trunk.
Yep.
And that was the end of the show.
Yep,
You never see us walk inside.
Nope. Then it's up to me. I never wanted to see Dean
Well, that's
die.
very selfish of you.
I never want. No.
How dare you?
I didn't want to see Dean die.
How dare you take that away from us?
No. I didn't think that
I'm
it
joking.
was right for
Listen,
Dean to die.
I had the same reaction that you did, I felt the same way that you did when we were pitched the ending. I did not want that to happen. I just did not in my being. I was like, he can't die. It hurt. Like, it hurt hearing it, and this was 10 months before we filmed it.
Longer. It was like July. We didn't film until September, August.
That's true.
COVID.
That's true because of COVID. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, it was over a year before it actually happened that I heard that, and I didn't like it. That being said, I read a lot of things in the script that I didn't like. I didn't like Bobby dying. But we're also in the business of making TV that draws emotion from people. And even though Bobby was so beloved and such a great part of the brothers' world and lives. Having him go made for really good TV.
Because you see what they do next. I think what he's saying, we've talked about this. There's a lot, that whole saying, pain is mandatory, suffering is optional. Like, one of the great things about Supernatural, because of our genre, because of our SBN family, and y'all sticking with us and knowing that we stick with y'all, is we get to explore these really friggin' uncomfortable situations, unlike other shows and movies get to explore. And go like, yeah, you lost your uncle. Yeah, you lost your dad. Yeah, you lost your mom. Now she's back in an alternate universe. You have to deal with that. You have to confront these, like, it's like a.
If I had a nickel.
Yeah. It's a Sisyphean effort to get through some of these trials and tribulations, and so I think that's part of why Supernatural, why the writers chose to make it. I can't watch it without crying. I can't hear about it without crying. The finale, but you got to see Sam go on. You got to see Dean go on. Like, this is going to be. We've all been through times in our lives where we're like, this is it. There's no way I can get through this. And then a month goes by, and you're like, I got through it. It still hurts, still sucks, but a lot less than it did yesterday, a lot less than it did a week before, a lot less than it did 2 weeks ago. And then another month goes by, and you're like, oh, well, I didn't even think about that yesterday. So I think part of what Supernatural and the Winchester brothers and the entire cast and crew did was show, like, hey, you can go through some real deep, dark, heavy, hard shit, and you can keep going. And so I'll stick with that. And yeah. And you did bring up a good point about a prior question, and now that it's been asked and brought up, Jensen does have an irrational fear of rebar.
But remember this. Had Dean not died that day, we would not have gotten to see Jared Padalecki in that gray wig.
All the drums! Give us some. We need it. We need it. You know why we need it? Do you know what's happening right now? Here, move over. Move. What? Duck, duck, duck. You need that. Because you know what's happening, right? This is it. This is the last question. Right now. Here's the last question. Here's the last question. Here's the very last question. Here's the last question.
SBN family, please say hello to Morgan, who is from right here in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah. Good use of the splash symbol. Nice.
All right, we're going to ask you our last question. Miss Senior Ackles is on his way. Look at your SBN family. Can we get a little bit of house lights so you can see all your family out there? All my family out there? Never mind, no big deal. Yeah. You have them all over the place. There we go.
There we go. Wow. That's it. Wow.
So, Morgan, you are our last question, and we would love to hear what it is.
Yes. So my question is, I know that the first couple seasons of Supernatural were shot on film. My question is, what was it like working with evolving technology over the years?
Great question. Yeah. Yeah. I'm here for this.
It's actually my mom's question.
Hi, Mom. Where's Mom? Where's Mom? Who's Mom? Mom, where's Mom? What? Morgan pointed right there. Hi, Mom. I know, you're good. You're good. I'll go first. I'll try it first. So it was a lot quicker because when you were doing film, they had to load and reload all the film, 1,000-foot mag or 300-foot mag. Check the gate. You'd have to do takes over and over again if there was a hair on the gate. Whereas when we went to digital, it was easier to do visual effects. It was easier to reload. They just took a memory card out and put a new one in, as opposed to like, okay, pull it out, wind it, deliver it downtown, get processed. And so I found it quicker.
Well, there was a learning curve. Certainly, when digital cameras were introduced, they weren't foolproof. There was a lot of like the camera would crash, and so they would have to like reboot them. And it was during that kind of like transition where people were going, "Is this worth it?" Um, Now that they've gotten to a point to where they are, it's astronomically changed the industry. You know, um, Not even just from the camera aspect, but also uh, what you can do digitally to the picture afterwards. So it's been really unique. In fact, just the other day, I was sitting behind the camera, and the camera was on the dolly on a remote head, which means there was nobody operating it. The operator was in another room with a monitor and wheels, and it was just like a moving, robot basically, and it would follow us in, and it would, move and all, and everything was being operated remotely. Uh, and he and I, when we started Supernatural, the camera operator was like literally looking through the eyepiece. You had the focus puller that was on the camera, moving the focus wheel. You had the dolly grip that was on the dolly. You had everybody was on the camera in like right there. But now everybody's like, it's all done remotely. And I'm like, at what point does AI take over and just you don't need a camera operator anymore? You don't need a focus puller anymore. You don't need a dolly grip anymore.
You don't need an actor anymore. Yeah.
You gotta be careful what you wish for.
It's been real.
Thank you. That was a really good
Morgan,
last
that was
question.
an
Thank you,
awesome
guys.
question. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Moran on the drums. There we go. Who was the very last question? Yeah, that's right.
Who was the last question?
It was the last question.
Who was the last question?
Yeah, it was.
Who was the last question?
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
Who was the last question?
Oh yes, it was.
Who was the last question?
That was it.
Who was the last question?
Moran on drums.
Who was the last question?
And Mark on guitar. Look. Maybe not a
I think they changed keys on us.
not a well-oiled machine, but not bad either. Not bad either. I would say, Mark,
Well
thank
done.
you. Nice job. Ladies and gentlemen.
Not bad, not good.
Not bad, not good. Better than shitty. Ladies and gentlemen, Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. But I've made up my mind. Yeah. I'm not wasting any